Hello everyone, I'm Trisha, it's me Jenny, and it's time for another not naked video response to Trisha Hershberger's series Naked Truth, where we talk as candidly and as truthfully as possible about a subject of her choosing. Straight out the shower, makeup, no makeup, wet hair, etc, etc. First take, one take, and so on and so forth. It is a tool for the vlogger to be vulnerable and honest and not to maintain the Hollywood facade of perfectness, and I've never had that, so that's great anyway. So there we go. Today's subject is going to be a very quick response because I haven't really thought about the subject of circumcision at all, and I'm going to prerequisite this video with I have not done any research on it because it is not a subject that I've really thought about in any way, shape or form. The concept of producing a child of my own is very far on the agenda for me. I don't see it happening in the next 10 years, if at all, at this point in my life. And that's not to say I haven't given up on the concept, I just can't see it happening at this particular phase of my life. And when it comes to that subject, I really have no clue about it. I think it would be a discussion, if the circumstances were to occur, that I would be having a male child. I would have to discuss it with my partner, if I have a partner at that time, and go from there. As the statistics that you brought up in your video, Trisha, very few people in Europe have circumcisions. I wouldn't agree to female circumcision, although, as you pointed out, some people do choose to do it. That is very much a cultural thing, and I'm not part of a culture where I find that particularly acceptable in any way, shape or form. Male circumcision is more common, but in my area of the world, very uncommon generally. I can't really see any specific health benefits that are worth noting, and I'd much rather give the child the choice when they are competent to be able to make the choice. Same with like pierced ears. I had pierced ears. I was my elder sister, it was a debate that my elder sister had that she wanted pierced ears, and my parents said no, not until you are 18, and she was I think 11 at the time, and they came to a compromise and they worked out the exact date in the middle when she can get her ears pierced, and she got her ears pierced on her 13th and a half birthday. They worked out the exact date that was between the two times that she wanted and the parents wanted, and had a compromise. Well, I didn't want to get my ears pierced until I was 18. I was allowed to get my ears pierced at the same rule as my older sister, 13 and a half. I was allowed to get it done, and at the time, school didn't really allow, you had to take out your earrings every time you did any food tech, every time you did any DIY courses or workshop type things, as the Americans say. It was D&T for us. If you ever did PE, you had to take out your earrings. Any sciencey things, you had to take out your earrings, and I didn't really want to have to think about that while I was still in uniform and still having to, you know, dress appropriately for school. It was just another thing that I just didn't want to have to worry about, so I waited till I was past sixth form level, when I didn't have to worry about having to take them in and out, and like when you've got the studs in and you've got to work about disinfecting them every single day and wearing plasters if you're doing PE or anything. I just didn't want to have to deal with that stress, and I'm very glad that I had that choice that I chose when I got my ears pierced. So I waited till I was 18, and I was almost going to wait longer, but I got given some beautiful earrings by my aunt, and I thought I'm gonna go ahead and do this, so I can wear these earrings, which I still have. So I think that was 100% my choice, and I could then look after myself in terms of making sure I disinfected and all of those sort of things. And you know, for me personally, there's enough things to deal with a newborn without having to worry about disinfecting that area and looking after that particular area, which is already pretty vulnerable, without having to worry about the details. If my child, if ever I have a child, grows up to have very strong religious beliefs and believes that it is the right thing for them to do for health reasons or religious beliefs, then I will support them in that decision, but I'm not probably going to make that decision for them unless, as I said, my partner has very particular preferences for it, and then I would probably, you know, put it down to them to make sure they look after the itty-gritty of it, as it were. I don't know, kind of my opinion's been formed as I've spoken in this video, but just generally it's not a thing that I'd ever consider. But then again, that's just me personally. This is 100% my personal opinion, off the cuff, not really thought about, unresearched opinion, which again will depend on my prospective partner, whomever that may be, and my prospective child, if and when that ever happens. But yeah, that's my opinion. My question for Trisha, and I don't think I've ever really posed a question in these videos, but I have a quick question for Trisha about have you saved any books from your childhood to share with your children? Because I have got a vast collection of children's books that I've been slowly rereading for the past couple of years, and then putting them into piles as to whether or not to get rid of them and whether or not to keep them for my children if ever I have children, or for my sister's children, you know, to be the cool aunt who provides books. And I've been reading some of them, and I adore children's books, I really, really do. So I was wondering, have you got any children's books that you've kept for yourself to give to your children, or any children's book that you've kept for yourself, because some children's books are amazing, and whether or not you are maybe going to re-buy some books that you loved as a child, just to show your child and re-experience them with your child. Just generally, what's, you know, your thoughts and nostalgia on children's books, because they are fantastic. And I love rereading children's books as an adult, because you find all the little, like, adult contexty things, and there's some books that I've had to throw away because I love them as a child, but when you read them in an adult, modern, feminist context, they are horrifying. Anyway, that's my question. Please do respond if you want. I thought it'd be a nice, light-hearted, non-controversial topic, unless anyone has a very strong opinion on the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment. See you next week, and I'll remember to send this in, Trisha. Bye for now.